We are live, ladies and gentlemen, gorgeous people of the lounge. Welcome on back to the round table, the Rebirth itself, volume number 2 of the Rebirth. We are officially back. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you on in, and hopefully for those of you that cannot listen in live, make sure to tune in to YouTube, and I will hopefully be able to get this one up on Spotify. To hear where you're all interested in regards to listening to podcasts. All that being said, we're back today. I've got a couple of wonderful folks with me. A couple of people just didn't show up today, so we are a bit short-staffed at the table, but that is okay. That will not deter us from having this wonderful podcast. So for today, the Rebirth Volume number 2, I've got two wonderful folks with me that were with us last week as well. One, Mr. Evolution X himself, is here.
How you doing, folks? Back again. Thanks to Bob letting me back after my show last week. And rep at TNM again.
That is thankful. And, of course, just part of the absolute lifeblood and soul of this podcast, the one, the only, the unimitatable Southside Envy.
Southside Envy, still repping the new ministry. My free agency is still active, but nobody's in my DMs. But as our new character once said, if she hot to her, let me talk to her. Yeah.
I don't think he's once ever said that in his life.
He should have. Absolutely should
have. I'm personally happy that you are finally off the OTC train, at least for this week, Envy.
The original
Oh, no, I'm
tail
pretty good teacher.
Yes, Envy. The original tail clapper. I'm happy that we're not actively pushing that anymore.
Oh no, not this week.
For those of you that are not aware, Envy always has an underlying thing that he has to push, and I believe this week is don't hinder the gender.
Indeed, it is. We're coming.
So yeah, make sure to stay tuned to hear Envy's wonderful breakdown on his Jinder Mahal trickster with the Tamatonga plate. I don't know.
You did hear correctly. It's Jinder Mahal, not the other gender. That gender. Wait till you see this.
So bad. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and hop right on into it. So, this month, we are in the brand new month. Behind us, we have the new Bloodline. Behind us, we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or grown men dressed up in Party City costumes. That is all behind us as of this podcast. We are starting off strong in October with even more zombies. A lot of speculation out there thinking that there was going to be no zombies whatsoever this month. I guess waiting for the Wyatt 6 was a lot of people's thoughts, that we were going to be getting them very, very early into their push on the main roster, and that we were going to get them instead of zombies. I think that definitely would have soured a lot of people's take on how much fun Zombies Month typically is for a lot of folks. That being said, we have a lot to discuss in regards to the month as a whole. The month is a 5-week event instead of a 4-week event, and that is because they are coming out with, I believe, a grand whopping total of 6 new zombies. 3 of them we know on the surface. We have Chelsea Green, Entombed, we have Bret Hart, the best there was, and we have Bailey, out of control. Those are the 3 zombies that we have information on as of the start of the event. One of the quote-unquote mystery zombies has already been revealed, which we will discuss how much fun, and yes, that was very difficult for me to say, Evo and I have already had this wonderful weekend that feud hasn't started on. Chasing Mr. Zombie LA Knight as well. There is some huge speculation in regards to what one of the other two zombies will be later on this month, and there is a true mystery that I don't think anyone has any intel or information on. So there is the B tier Chelsea, the A tier Brett, the S tier Bailey, and I believe it is a grand whopping total of 3 S plus tier characters that we are getting this month. All that being said, before we talk about just the month in general, just to pile on a couple more things in regards to the month in general, these zombies all have a 40%, 60% coach. Not every single one of them on the month, as far as I know, because there's the 2 mysteries, but so far, Chelsea Green, Bailey, Brett, and LA Knight all have identical coaches to Zombie Gunther from last year, which was the 30% blue gem damage, 60% multi. All of these zombies have different colors. Chelsea's the green, Brett's the purple, Bailey's the red, and as of this weekend, we learned that LA Knight is the black gem bonus as a coach. All of these coaches at the start of the month actually got an upgrade at 34,000 talent. Instead of being 30%, 60%, they are 40%, 60%. And the last thing to talk about in regards to just the month structure as a whole, for those of you that were around for the Ozzy Osbourne event, for those of you that were around for the Rosie event, this month we have a Z Gunther event. So everybody in the game that plays this month will be getting Zombie Gunther. To me, that is a huge, huge win. Outside of the fact that he is a very solid fighter, he is arguably the best coach from last year's set of zombies, and you can tell that because they've essentially duped his coach 4 times over so far this month, which is a full year later. So a lot to delve into in regards to the month as a whole. I would love to hear what my cast today has to say about the structure of the total MLC. I'd love to know what their thoughts are.
Well, if you want me to start, so a 5-weeker used to be a pure joy back in the day. Used to get the person at 4-star, used to have 2 weeks to take them 5-star, and used to get that little strap and medal off the prize wall and be super happy. This month, got to get it all 5 weeks. Got to have 5-star off the jump. And you buy the 4-star pack. You're feeling good. You get her up to 4-star gold. And next thing you know, they're not selling any more tokens. Where are these tokens coming from? You got to do pulls. I'm not doing pulls. I'm cheap. I'm not cheap enough not to get the pack, but I'm cheap enough not to do more pulls. And wouldn't you know it, I fall 600 tokens short of Evolve. And then come the next week, 750 for sale. Fuck you guys. You hear me? I don't appreciate that one bit. Fuck you guys. She's 5-star now, but it doesn't matter anymore. So whatever. And I won't get my Bubbles glasses that I was hoping so hard for.
Yeah.
But I mean, just disregard all that. That Zombie Gunther event. Oh man, this thing's fun. I mean, I already had them, but just getting them 6-star gold. Sure, the community can be happy they're getting it, but hey, I'm getting more shards. He's going up to 6-star gold for the low. Oh boy, this is great. The new zombies with the multiplied gem bonus. Oh yeah, these guys gonna hit. Jacob gonna hit. Jacob already hit, but he gonna hit even harder now. Oh man, I can do so much stuff with Muda. Woohoo! Oh man, I am thrilled. And plus, we get to boost up this purple gem damage. I always love that. And these 34k coach, oh man, they just keep on making me have to take these guys up higher and higher. I was perfectly happy just having a 6-star and getting all the advantages, but now if I don't feel the stars, I gotta take them all the way to 6-star gold. I don't got the resources for all this, unless I really push it. And I did with Brett, so I guess we're good.
You ain't got it, but you got it. But you might not got it.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's how I feel. I ain't got it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because you told me. But I don't really want to do it. But we gonna do it.
I gotta agree with you on. I like the new coaches. I definitely think they are very strong. They're honestly, some of them are just as strong as trainers out there, if not even stronger. So huge upside in that regard. I will kind of piggyback on the Chelsea token comment. I really think that they are leaving a lot of money on the table. There's a lot of people out there who get the 4-star starter pack. Again, whether it's for having tour perks maxed out on day one, whether it's for having, 2 times speed on the fact that you have maxed out tour perks, whether it's for having the Chelsea so that you can play the event, whether it's for having the half off prize wall. There's a plethora of reasons that people get that 4-star starter and then don't get the 5-star by the end of week one. I think that if they did make that, whether it's 750 or 250, whatever that magic number is of tokens available, even on Sunday, the day before, the entire week gets closed up, I think they're missing out on a huge opportunity there to capitalize on people that have already gone out of their way to your point, to spending the resources and money required on that big boy starter pack. I feel like even if they left it at $20, they could be picking up $20 from about half the crew that has purchased the starter pack since the beginning of the week. It's a good chunk of change that they could definitely pick up. So I think that's a great point.
These guys don't want to make money.
Hey, you never know. But yeah, Evo, talk to me. What are your generic thoughts on the month so far with the new coaches, the Gunther, the everything, the 5 weeks?
I don't know if you can hear me now a little bit, but I want to piggyback on the whole Chelsea token thing real quick. Is as someone who is part of the problem and has bought the starter pack every month for either the half off prize wall, because I am that I always want that, sure, but an issue where you have to get that special and metal plate, something that is always there with it. Well, the fact I was a fan of superstars until that in about 20 minutes. But and keep it a couple surprises would be great. But the Charlotte is where they lose me.
I think we lost you there for a little
So
bit on all your on all your feedback there. You cutting in and out. I guess feel free to let me know when you're back in comfortable connection land. But yeah, I think I kind of get the gist of what you're saying in regards to like there still needs to be something that people can have as a special win in regards to like if they pull the character from the loot, and I respect that. The flip side is there's a lot of money that people, and yourself included, right? What you're talking about of getting the starter pack. There's a lot of people that are going out there and spending that money, and I feel like it's a lot that they get still to leave on the table from a crew of players that have already spent and committed big money to start the month out on a freebie character, and then they have to then just go out of their way to spend loot pools on. I think that's where the hang up is. I feel like there's a benefit for people that get the character at 6-star for the day one event, where they can take up more talent into the freebie character and climb those leaderboards higher, as well as I guess it's called the kickoff contest now for Brett Shards, for MLC prize wall, for things along those lines. And I think there's also some really good straps in the leaderboards there. I might be completely mistaken, to be fair, but that to me was definitely the big win in regards to getting a 5-star or even a 6-star of the freebie. In this case, this month, Zombie Chelsea. So I think there's definitely a middle ground. I think that there's a capability for there to be a middle ground in regards to still being able to have something special for those that get Chelsea, for example, out of the loot, whether it's 5 or 6 star, especially earlier than the players who have to wait until all the way on Sunday and who have already purchased that starter pack, at the beginning of the week so that they can get all of their regular kickoff tour items done. They don't get the kickoff tour bonuses for a 5 star or a 6 star or whatever it is. They don't get the kickoff event bonuses for a 5 or a 6 star. It just comes around on Sunday where they can get the one token for the 1 month long chase. I feel like that's a solid middle ground if they do make that available. So I think that there's definitely some room, not a lot, but just a little bit of room for improvement in regards to that. And I will kind of circle back in regards to I'll talk about the Gunther side of things first, I guess. I think the fact that everyone's getting Gunther is huge. I really can't hammer that point home enough. The fact that he not only got an updated coach, but that we also get a chance to take him 6-star gold with a fuse up just by playing the game this month is massive. The blue multi-gem is very common in our game. That is, I guess, every class has their gem. That is the acrobat gem, is the multi-gem. So I think the fact that everyone's getting him is huge, and I think the fact that he got an increase on his talent is significant. And to kind of piggyback on what Envy was saying about now I have to take him gold, or I got to fill the stars, or something along those lines, the fact that he is the one that everyone's getting for free just by playing the game. They may not get him at 6-star gold for free. Don't think that I'm saying that. That depends on where you're playing and how much you're playing, the faction that you're in, the type of effort that you're putting in. Those are all completely different, portions of what does or does not make up you getting that character at the rarity you'll get it at on the monthly. But that in its own right is significant to a lot of rosters. Not just for Zombies events, not just for the fact that he's the Zombie Showdown guy this month, but the fact that he's going to be used as a coach moving forward for the foreseeable future. I think that it's interesting that a lot of our zombie characters this month got entourage abilities, in this case coaches, that will use very consistently into the future, but that none of these zombies characters are going to be essentially released outside of Zombies Month. That one's kind of odd to me in regards to how useful some things are, but they won't be consistently available. That's just my own take on it. I like the idea that there's a 40-60 coach for just about every color in the game now. I think the only one missing is yellow, which we might get one of our mystery superstars with the yellow bonus. That being said, we have the new Striker Brett, not Zombie Brett, but Striker Brett from Canadian Month, who has 35% green, yellow, and multi. So that's not a 40-60, but it is a 35-35. So it's about as close as we can get if we don't get a yellow and multi coach. So I think that we're pretty solid and pretty squared away with our coach damage bonuses. If there's anything else in regards to, I guess, just the general month that either of you guys want to talk about, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, we can move on to actually discussing the zombies themselves.
I think the month was pretty spaced out nicely. It started with showdowns, going to feud. I think there's a boss battle in there, then another showdown, and then another feud. And I feel like that's good enough. I don't like 2 showdowns, but it's fine.
I think the issue with the whole 2 showdown thing is that there's not another event that they want to introduce. And so right now we're at a showdown or feud type of event system. And then boss battle is one of the final 2 weeks of the month, depending on what the other events are. I can't remember the last time they haven't had a feud every other weekend. So it was Showdown last week. It's going to be feud this week. Then they're going to have Showdown next week because Boss has to always be the finale, which means they're going to have Flash feud on the following week, and then Boss is the final week. That's just how they've always done it. And that'll mean that next month we're going to start out with a 20-hour feud as the first weekend contest. And then we'll have a Showdown, then we'll have a Flash feud, then we'll have a Boss, provided that it's a 4-week event. If that's a 5-week event, that's when I kind of start to think there might be a little bit of a change up. Moving into next month, we might start out with a 20-hour feud, have a Showdown, another 20-hour feud, have a Boss, and then end the month with Flash feuds. But they haven't strayed, I guess is the word that I'm looking for, from their every other week is a feud concept. They've been very stringent on that. So I think it's hard for them to break out of that structure. Even with all the changes that we've seen in a lot of the MLCs, that is the one thing that stands strong.
I'm okay with feuds. The Showdown is kind of hard for me when the whole faction doesn't hit it, so then I get that much farther away from getting that 5-star gold Z Gunther. 6-star gold Z Gunther. But I'm gonna make it happen. It's gonna happen.
I believe we need to get your free agency numbers up.
It's fine. I'm out here. We're gonna make it work regardless.
We gotta get them free agency numbers up and rolling. Well, that'll be it for the monthly side of things, I think. Evo, if your connection is stable and you want to give it a second go, let me know.
Reach out these ones right here.
Yeah, we could try again. Sorry about that.
You're good,
Is
brother.
that better?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah. So I guess you kind of touched on everything about with the whole Chelsea and the 5-week event being short and people. I think it's a real. What bothers me about it is it almost, to me, it personally feels predatory when they throw out the token that day after, and it's like, oh, you can buy the tokens now, but meanwhile, you're not going to get the reward for getting a 5 token. So that's the kick. That I don't like the way they do that. I do like the 5-week MLP, and then the surprise guys again is great if they didn't mess it up. So that was one of the things I missed about the change in format in the MLC was not knowing the card going into it. So that could come back and be great. I don't like the Charlotte thing we talked about as well. It's very tough on people. There's no progress. So the great thing about most events is you do a little, you gain a little progress. This one, you don't know. It's either all in or all out. So, and double Showdown's okay. I've been busy all week with work, as you know, so
Yep.
I missed a lot of it. So I wasn't really part of it. But Showdown's always been it's a good event for most people because it's not. You could do it. It is CSS heavy at times, but it's also something you can grind through now, as opposed to back in the day, where if you didn't have the CSS, you were. So I do like that fact.
Yeah, we'll break down a little more into the specifics, like we're talking about with the Shardless recruit for LA Knight and the Showdown grind in a bit here. But I do gotta say, maybe I'm a standalone on this, man, but I can't stand the surprises. I hate them. I just tell me what it is that I gotta look forward to, and I'll be happy to look forward to it. Like, was there any need to surprise us with Zombie LA Knight as the S+ tier, who's the 40% Black Gem coach? Like, you could have just told me that out the gate. I would have known in the back of my head, that's the Black Gem coach. I definitely want to get that guy. I'll be happy to save my expenditures, so to speak, for the weekend that he gets released. I don't know. I guess it's just a me thing. I also like knowing what the fighters are gonna look like. I have been personally a fan of the everything gets released on day one in the terms of the characters and their coaches, entourages, trainers, whatever you want to call it. I know some people love those surprises. I'm not in that boat. I'm not. I don't know. That might just be a me thing. For anyone else that's listening in, feel free to let me know what you think in the comments in regards to, the surprises and whatnot. I am just not a fan of them.
Yeah, please let Bob know how wrong he is about the surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in there. I'm a Twitch watcher, so the only reason you watch Twitch is for the surprises. So if they don't surprise me, I don't want to hear about the contest that we're doing the same way over and over and over again. I want to be shocked. I want that bro swerve that he always tries to tell us we're getting Pat McAfee, but we're not.
Yeah.
I want that. That's what I need in my life.
Yeah.
So bring surprises back.
I don't need any more bro swerves of Pat McAfee. My heart couldn't take the first one, and at this point, I just can't trust the man. Just can't trust him.
That first one hurt my feelings really bad too.
Yep, just can't trust him.
But at the end of the day, that's what's really great about it too. It's like, I'd like to have something to look forward to.
That's very fair point.
It's that on the CC streams and the blog reveals and all that. It's like we're doing the same event. Nothing changes that much. It's the rewards, I guess, a little bit. The surprise is the new card to me. And but I see what you're saying too. Maybe there's a perfect world where you can say, all right, this is what we're going to get entourage ability. We're not going to tell you who it is yet, but this is what we're going to get for this kind of card, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Look, I personally, and that's just the me thing. You can put a silhouette wrestler for all I give a shit. They don't need card art, or poster art, whatever you want to call it. They don't need none of that. You can just make a good. You could put like Invis Cena with the gear, how there's literally no model whatsoever. You could just do that. You can put moves out there that says move 1, move 2, move whatever, and your entourage ability, and I don't gotta see shit with any of these characters in regards to who it is. And then you could surprise everybody in the game with, oh my god, it's LA Knight. Oh my god, it's CM Punk. Oh my god, it's Nia Jax. Ugh, whatever. I would hate that. But, regardless. I think that there's definitely a room for improvement. I don't think it has to be all or nothing on this one. I don't think it has to be all surprises or no surprises. But anyway, that'll be it for our monthly talks in regards to the structure and all of that good stuff. I want to move on to the actual zombies themselves. So the freebie, Chelsea Green, powerhouse female, B tier, has the green gem damage bonus with the 60% multi. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. Pretty good that Chelsea Green has the green bonus. Pretty easy to remember. Bret Hart has the purple gem bonus. Bret Hart is our A tier monthly chase replacement that most of you should be able to get. There is Bayley Out of Control. She is a striker. Sorry, my apologies. Bret Hart is a showboat male. Should have mentioned that. Bayley is a striker female, and she is the red gem damage coach, along with the multi-gems as well. And as we were just talking about, we have LA Knight. We will talk about him after the initial 3 that we have. So, along with the blog release came 3 superstars instead of the stereotypical 4 superstars, and the mention of the 3 mysteries. I know a lot of people really, really like the look of Chelsea Green, especially with 99 MP. I think a lot of other players are also very looking forward to Bret, even though he is in arguably the most loaded class in the game, which is Showboat, and that's a very tough class to kind of stand out in. And myself included, I did not think much of Bret, at least for the time being with 99 MP. I do think that he has a name that he has made for himself personally, at least on my own roster. I do like the way that he plays. You definitely need some higher tier things like 100% damage and, a drip plate, and there's definitely some things that make him very smooth sailing at the absolute pinnacle of the top end. But that is not for everybody. He still works very well with the triple yellow moveset too. And Bailey, I don't have Bailey yet. I'm very looking forward to the day that I get Bailey. Even after 99 MP, I think she's going to be fantastic for this 6-star gold meta that we're in. I don't think she's going to scale move damage wise past that. That's just a me thing that I'm thinking. But I really like the looks of all of these characters. I don't think that I'm going to be using Chelsea after the 99 MP wears off. I might be, sadly mistaken in regards to that, and she might be my best powerhouse female without me realizing it just yet. But I'm not falling for it until I see enough substance, I suppose, from everybody else after the 99 MP wears off to see if there's players that are going to be taking her up to gold and how well she will perform. So let's get some thoughts from both Envy and Evo in regards to what they think about our 3 zombies on the surface.
Well, I love Chelsea. I'm happy to have her. It was Zombie Live all the way for my powerhouse female, but for some reason I can't get her to hit right. So Chelsea feels good if I can take her up high enough if I decide to use all my resources, and I probably will, to get her to her top coach level and maybe even take her gold. And I feel like I can get these extra Titan plates I got in my life out, or I can bust out the new Chelsea plate that I got and see how that works on her. But she's been doing well at 5-star right now, and going up can only get better. And I just like blast gems anyway, so it's fun using Chelsea. And Brett, they said we weren't gonna have a good Brett. I said we weren't gonna have a good Brett, but like level 1, the 2-Bob build, all weighing up the joy. But then 2-Bob said he had a good coach, and I looked at it and I said, oh yeah, I really need him up now. So took him gold, and it's still fun because I got my Driptopia out there on Brad, and we love these drip plates. Drip plate build all the way. Don't listen to Cesaro with the cheap build. It doesn't work if you don't got the nice stuff. And Bailey, I'm hoping, now this is my hope for the 5 weeks. Since we got 5 weeks, there's tons of time to get these extra little charts that you wouldn't see in 4 weeks. So I'm hoping that she just kind of drips into my lineup and somehow I land her by week 5. That's my goal, that's my hope. And if it happens, I'll be full of joy because I need a good striker female in my life. So it feels like they touched all the areas where my lineup was weak, and we can get stronger because I don't really like playing with Nikki at 5. It's 6-star gold.
Nikki Cross you're talking about.
Yeah.
I do gotta send a little bit of appreciation your way. Not only did you talk about the drip plate with Brett, but you talked about Bailey dripping into your lineup.
Indeed.
That's got to be the clippable moment of the podcast today.
Yeah, I mean, powerhouse female, yeah, we all know is dreadful. Very tough to get a good one going in there.
Yeah.
Being that this free card is one of the ones where Scopely just nails it because it's a card that post 99 MP, it will still be usable. It will still be above and beyond what we most of us have. And the more nice stuff you have, the better it hits. So it hits like all play styles. It's all across the board. It's great. Brett, drip, yeah. I mean, I'm on the drip boat with him. You know me and my drip plates. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Love drip characters. Brett is a killer. You don't get to touch the board. And he just annihilates people. Bailey, I love Bailey personally. I'm a Bailey mark. I went hard to get her real quick. And I got her, and she is the Naomi of the move damage. So she's going to be moving forward easily, clipping people, couple button presses, and you're out. Love that about her. And then LA Knight, who I haven't, don't have him yet. Through valiant effort. and but he looks incredible. He looks a couple different builds, a couple different ways you could run him, whatever you're comfortable doing. Even even people that hate sub builds come out and said, "Well, look at this sub build; it's great." So far so good with how to use these cards moving forward, even into post 99 MP, which is something that sometimes you can't really say for some cards, but I think they killed it. I think they did good so far. We have CM Punk coming eventually, right? We think. And then the real surprise, if there is a fifth one. See.
Yeah, there should be a secret sixth zombie is the hope, to my understanding. Another S plus tier character that'll be released. Again, I will have to personally wait on Chelsea Green. I think there's a lot of hope and a lot of hype around her. I just personally don't want to be let down and disappointed if I am ending up taking her gold and then realizing she only does like 30 mil. Not kind of ideal for me. Brett, like I was mentioning earlier on in some of the videos, if you watched that I've made already, I did take mine to gold. As Envy has mentioned, he's got a great coach, and not only just for the coach, but I took him gold. Kind of what Telvin was just talking about in the live chat, which for those of you that aren't aware, we do have a live chat along with the podcast for those that listen in with us live. There, at least in my opinion, should be a moment that gets released this month. There have been, when you go based off recent history, there's typically moments that get released almost every month. They've been for every game mode now, and it's for every character on the month. So this is all without seeing whatever that inevitable moment might be. Maybe it does push Chelsea over the top. Maybe it does make Brett just that much, smoother. Maybe it keeps Bailey relevant into the 6-star diamond, 7-star bronze, whatever the heck you want to call it, following meta whenever the hell that gets released with her move damage. So I'm looking forward to whatever that hopeful moment will be. And to circle back on the whole Brett thing, that is why I took him 6-star gold, so that every shard that I get from this point on will be just simply directly fed into that moment. So the reason that I did that is I didn't want to have to use any more of his shards on leveling him up and talenting him up. I just wanted him to be at his max rarity so that all of them can just go into that eventual moment. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that might do. I do like the look of Bailey. Again, I think she's very smooth in the sense of just a couple of clicks. You don't have to touch the board and you essentially win. You walk out. No big deal. So very, very excited. I definitely think that they, kind of like Evo just said too, and Envy, both of them. Evo was talking about how they pretty much hit the mark with a lot of these zombies, and Envy was talking about how his roster had a couple of weak spots in regards to powerhouse female or striker female, and they kind of hit the nail on the head so far this month with the relative strength of these zombie characters. I think they typically hit pretty strong on Zombies Month, and I don't think that this month is a letdown in the slightest. Again, whether it's as a fighter or like what I was saying earlier on in the podcast as entourage abilities. I think these entourages we will utilize very frequently moving forward. That's going to be it in regards to the 3 zombie characters. Outside of that, we can discuss the 4th one that we are talking about now, that Evo gave us a little sneak preview on. Our feud event character of the weekend, which, yes, as Evo has mentioned, he does not have, and it's not for a simple lack of trying. I myself don't have. You'll see a video that gets released from me later on this weekend showing a couple of my attempts, but not all of them. And yes, there have been many, many attempts from a plethora of players across the game who have tried to get Mr. Zombie LA Knight. And as you can imagine, nah. They ain't getting him. Mr. Zombie LA Knight is indeed in the feud event. The top 20 in the spend portion of the event will get to walk away with him. He is the Black Gem coach and multi-gem coach, the 40-60 combo. As a fighter, he is a freak of nature. His MP charges are very low. I think there's a moveset with 3, 4, and 5. His purple moveset as well is only 5 starting MP to get everything locked and loaded. He is a monster on a lot of levels. Whether it's the traps, whether it's the Pyro, Piper, Ultimate Plate moveset. I mean, he is strong.
And not only that, he's a trickster.
God,
Trickster's a rough guy.
And not only that, he is a trickster. He fits a lot of categories for a lot of players out there. It was also very funny for those of you that aren't aware. When he got released to watch, I really still to this moment think that there was a developer who was watching in on the stream and was messing around with everybody and updated the Pyro move, which just said that it was a Pyro move and didn't generate gems, to then it being a Pyro move that generated blue gems. For those of you that don't know, yes, LA Knight is a trickster, and his moves are purple, yellow, and red. He doesn't have blue moves. So I thought that was hysterical personally. And then they updated it to where he makes yellow gems. That was a very fun little stream, to put it kindly. To see how strong he hits is honestly very, very impressive. He's a character that'll go for a long time.
Sorry to interrupt, but I loved Rusty and watching his reaction. The shout out Rusty, and how he was so excited, and then how it changed, and he was confused as all of us were on blue gems and then green, and then it was. I wish they would do that more often, because that was actually really fun. And then that's the part of the thing I go back to with the excitement of not knowing, going into it and that change. That's for me that's the fun part.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're not wrong there. I definitely agree with you. That was that was very, very funny. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Envy. Go ahead.
I didn't say anything, but I can say something now. So, I've seen the videos, I've seen the labels, and they say this guy is the best trickster in the game. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's not true. Not true at all. Because guess what? Y'all don't got him. But I know who you do got. You got the modern day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal. Y'all need to work this guy up. Why? Because I said so. Well, don't do it, because I'm the only one to have him up. So, I'm gonna have this Jinder out here in these streets and just wait until they make that ultimate plate that you break blues and generate purples. Jinder gonna go crazy, baby. Let me just tell you, Jinder gonna go crazy when that happens. Developers, get on it.
Oh my god.
Jinder's gonna be out in these streets, and just know it's gonna be me hurting you.
Envy, they already have a Tama plate, and you still haven't put that on him yet.
The plate resources are kind of small. He's got an affiliation strap on right now. I can't take this affiliation off agenda right now. But there's gonna come a day when I get that 100% trickster strap, modern era, and oh boy, you don't want to see my gender.
I don't think
that gender is not hindered, and Envy will be out there on those streets.
I don't think anybody wants to see gender.
Oh boy.
Oh god. Yeah. So yeah, Zombie LA Knight, much to Envy's dismay, is certainly the best trickster in the game.
Blasphemy.
and as a side note to that, as a drip aficionado that I am, having a black gem coach, is something that we don't get a whole lot of. They kind of avoid for the most part with the entourage ability, so It's a nice one for us too.
Yeah, I'm really curious as to why they're so adverse to it. I mean, look, back when it was 3-star and 4-star days, I get it. The Striker Black Gem is the strongest gem in the game, which I get that. But I mean, man, we are so past that in regards to like generic gem damage output. The thing that honestly shocked me was outside of technician Rocky Balboa, this LA Knight coach is as strong as any other trainer for black gem damage.
Absolutely.
The only one is Tech Rocky Balboa. They don't have the license for him anymore. There's no chance of getting him anymore. He is gone to the wind. The only other ones that exist right now are Becky, Technician Legend, which is plus 40% red and black, which is a solid trainer, and Tori Wilson, which is the 40% black gem with 2 MP. And so, yes, Tori is typically the go-to for the output on gem damage, but the fact that this is a coach with the same exact strength and even arguably more strength, to the point that you're making, Evo, in regards to a drip plate, if you're using multi-gems, he is stronger than any trainer or coach out there for black gems if they are multiply gems. That is
and
massive.
To piggyback on that one is, I think, and I could be mistaken here, but even though drips aren't affected by, let's say, a Seth Leonardo, it will be affected by the 60% that this coach will give.
Absolutely, because it's still a multiply gem. So, very impressive from every aspect, honestly. I think we're gonna wrap up on the LA Knight talks there before Evo and I get all in our feelings in regards to the fact that we don't have him. Definitely gonna be a tough weekend. My hopes definitely going out to the big fella for bringing him home. I have conceded, unfortunately. I am not going down that path.
Still got gender.
Yeah. Thankfully, I still have my Jinder Mahal. He is rocking a cool, smooth 5,009 talent. You know, he's right up there with the likes of NXT Seth. He's just
and
killing
in
it.
honor of Envy, when I get home tonight, Jinder will be 6-star gold. We will see.
Let's get it.
Please no. Please no. All right.
I
so
acknowledge my tribal chief.
yeah, you too. The original tail clapper club with Jinder Mahal.
Runs in the chat.
Oh man! All right. Well, before we talk about all the events that we've had, which will be the showdown event with the multiple plates, the feud event that we're talking about with LA Knight, all that good stuff, I want to take a quick little sidetrack. They have this new, I guess, feature in the game that allows you to instantly log in to the portal. Have either of you tested or seen what this is all about?
So,
Yeah. As someone that is a portal guy that jumps over a lot, it is I hated putting in my login information, and then you go to another screen, you got to put in your password, then you go to another screen, and now you're on the portal. This instant login thing is such a quality of life upgrade for those that do go to the portal. You don't have to go to your search browser or whatever. You just got to click a button. You're there.
Interesting.
And then they also have on mobile. On my part, I'm a mobile guy. I don't have a computer or anything like that. So always on my phone with it or my iPad. I'd never seen the pictures. I know it's going to sound silly, but every offer on the portal was always just words. Now they're all got pictures and updated, and it looks nicer, and you can actually see what's in the offer as opposed to clicking through it and reading it. So, I mean, to me, it was a big upgrade that maybe if you're not on the mobile as much, you might have missed a little, or you didn't notice as much. But for me, it was a game changer.
I can dig it.
But for me, it works. It works perfectly. But maybe I'm not doing it right. Do I really have to go to the news, read the thing, then go down to click here? Or is there an easier way to get there?
That's my understanding. You click the newspaper button up top, and then you click the lower left corner. You're there.
Oh yeah, it is. I guess I should have read how to do it. It worked. It worked. There you go. See? This is why we come to the podcast.
This is why we come to the podcast. I will be very transparent. I have not tried the new instant login. I know I'm typically playing the game on my phone, but I also the antithesis of what Evo's talking about. I pretty much live on a computer, so I almost always have the portal just up in the background on one of my many trillions of tabs, as has been pointed out by numerous folks. So I have not experienced the new feature as of yet. I have experienced the new update to the portal. And again, maybe this is just me on the computer and not on the phone. It is very colorful, is a nice way of saying it. Lots of new sections and new rainbow banners and offers and things. It just catches me off guard. It's gonna take me, I think, a while to get used to the new update to the portal. I see what they're trying to do. I see that they've made their web exclusive deals, even though some of them aren't actually web exclusive. You can still get them in the game, like the special value deals. And then they just have deals that are specifically for the current event that is going on. It's going to take me a little bit of getting used to. I think that there's a lot of feedback on this already in regards to the update of the portal. At the top above the banner now, it makes it look like there's like these prizes, but it's really not prizes. It's essentially just the old events tab, which is now the bonus rewards tab, that you get all of these extra things for spending so much money on the portal. It just it catches me off guard personally. Not to say I love it, not to say I hate it. Initially not a big fan of it. It's change. A lot of people kind of hate change. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see if they decide to make any updates to it along the way. But my first glance was, yeah, hopping into the portal. It is very colorful.
As a caveman, yeah, I at first I was like, what the heck is going on? Because I was, wow, it is a shock to the system if you're not used to it. But then as you go through it, another thing that I just thought about is I'm a guy that goes through a lot of plate chips, right? Whether, whatever it is. To find that before, it was scroll all the way down, click a button. Scroll all the way down, click a button. Almost 3-4 times. It took like, it feels like forever, but it took like a solid minute to find that offer. Mm-hmm. Now everything is a scroll. It's no click. You're not clicking deeper into a menu or into whatever they call it. It's all there. It's visual. I think it's a pleasant upgrade once you get used to it. Like you said, the bar up top, I think, is more of a them thing, trying to get people to spend more, because now it's a visual representation of spend scheme on that part. And it shows you, a progress bar and a whole nine. So, yeah, I'm 50-50 on that one, because I don't want to know half the time. But yeah, I think it was a fine thing that they didn't have to do. It was something that quality of life, I think, is a good improvement for those that do have to, or that do take advantage, because not for nothing, this game does give a lot on the portal. Don't go to the portal, you're missing out on a lot.
Yeah.
Even without spending,
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that one. I think overall there's thumbs ups and not a lot of thumbs downs, but there are definitely a couple of thumbs downs. I think this is an interesting change for most. I'm sure an improvement. To Evo's point, I think if you are more mobile bound, that this is definitely a significant improvement. And that is why I tried to preface my own feedback with the fact that I don't try to visit this on the phone as much. And so my feedback is more PC, computer, whatever you want to call it, interface-based feedback. But all in all, definitely an interesting feature.
And me as also a mobile user, I think it makes it look like a lot like the game. So when they first updated it, it felt like the in-game store, and that made me feel comfortable and not having to click see more every time I try to get down to the new offer to
Mm-hmm.
find those hidden offers that they messed up on, because they're out there, but you don't know until you really get deep into it. So this made that a whole lot easier. So fuck up if you want to. We gonna find out. Just know.
You gotta love Envy's priorities, everybody. You
Oh,
just gotta love them. Well, all right. That I think that's a good little side track that we had there. So let's get back into the game itself. Let's discuss. So we kind of touched base on the feud event so far. We'll kind of give a couple of comments on that. I don't think there's really much else going on outside of it's LA Night weekend, baby. The feud itself feeds in some solo points into the spend event. Like I was saying earlier on, I'm definitely hoping that Evo gets to walk away with his commitment for a guaranteed poster, character, whatever you want to call it, of LA Knight. I'm looking forward to seeing what type of fun and nonsense that he gets to whip up with the character. I myself will most likely be waiting for weekend 4 where his shards are at. I really wish that I had just saved all the spending that I tried to go for him with this week for that week, just so that I can try to get closer to him. We'll see if there's a way to bring home Mr. Nana himself. But this feud event is pretty straightforward. Standard prize wall. I mean, prize wall looks really nice. To be fair, with all the shards on it, I think Envy was talking about getting Tusos from it. I know there's still Jacob shards on it. There's Regal shards on it. So the feud wall itself, the event itself, outside of LA Knight, which seems to just be either you pull them or you don't, seems to be pretty rewarding if you can push just a little bit in it. So I'm looking forward to that regard,
yeah.
and then we can talk about the showdown and the new plates in a moment here.
We know of a free to play person that doesn't really spend. That is, he is within a good feud of getting Regal and Jade Cargill, and it's just a massive upgrade to anyone's roster. So yeah, I mean that prize wall is pretty beefy for a lot of people.
Yeah, he's under, I think, under 100 shards for Jade and under 50 for Regal.
Yep.
So
And that's in that class, those two are top of the game right there.
yeah, that's a hell of an improvement for someone that essentially doesn't spend or might spend $20 every couple of months. Power to him and power to the game for making it available. Huge win, I still think, on being able to get Jacob shards and being provided Jacob Fatu shards in a Zombies month. That guy is just next level, and if you don't have him being able to even get remotely close to him or closing the distance entirely on him, that is a huge win. So I think that, yeah, again, I guess instead of yeah, not getting Mr. LA Knight isn't the worst thing in the world this weekend for a plethora of folks out there. And the fact that there's also a sheriff's badge, even for everyone that has all the characters on the wall, it's a pretty solid event, honestly, in regards to the reward section. May not be the easiest to get there, but it definitely seems like it will pay out in the long run for a lot of folks. Envy, what's your thoughts on it? I know you were talking about Tusos. I know you were talking about possibly getting a plate. I know we were talking about Zombie LA Knight right before we started the podcast, that it wasn't going to happen. I think you were talking about getting the 7 pull instead versus getting the Tusos. I want to know what your outlook on this one is.
Yes, I didn't do the math on how many medallions I can actually get. Maybe I get lucky in the blitz or something, but if I can get those 26, I can have more than enough to get Tusos. But if I land on 26, I can test my luck and do a 7 pull and get the second best tech in the game, LA Knight possibly. So do I want to risk it all, or do I just want to take the guarantee? But then also I was thinking, if I get let's say 14 medallions, I can give me 7 pulls, land LA, and also get that KO plate. Because who doesn't need another ultimate plate just for kicks? So that's what I'm looking at. But if I gotta settle for a 2-Sos, I could do worse. So I can't get Becky. They put Becky out of range, only giving up 100 shards. So I can't get Becky. I'm not trying to get closer. Just hopefully just falls in my lap like all these other zombies tend to.
Well,
And
that 7 pull you can pull back 8 too.
is she?
Oh yeah.
I wish I had the
Well.
confidence. I wish I had the confidence you had with this 7-pull envy.
It hit one time for me. I'm telling you, one time the 7-pull hit something. I don't know what it hit. I can't remember. I mean, my roster's so deep, whatever. But it hit something one time. I got a new character one time off a 7-pull, and it felt good.
Oh my god! Yeah, so this one's definitely gonna be a combo of Zombie LA and Zombie Becky. We know it's happening. Got it. Well, if you know it's happening, then yeah, you might as well get that 7-pull and just get the guarantee. You know.
Get them both in that 7-pull. Why not? Really?
Yeah,
Really.
that's
Put
what you do.
odds on that one.
Well, that'll be it for the feud event. Let's circle back and talk about the showdown that we had last weekend. Gonna rack everyone's brains. It was the Zombie Brett showdown, where you could grind with Zombie Brett, and on the back end, speaking of the devil, if you had Jacob Fatu, you got even more points for grinding. It was a significantly strong pairing of Brett and Fatu. And honestly, I don't think many people were having all that many struggles fighting a lot of people on defense. The only zombie on defense that was giving anybody a hard time was if you had Zombie Brett. Everyone else was kind of just left to their own devices. I think, hysterically enough, Gunther might have been the strongest one out there for a lot of people, because of the showdown perks being purple and yellow. So I didn't have much of an issue with using Brett. Like I was mentioning, I got lucky enough to get him during his weekend. I don't think even if I didn't have Brett that I would have any issues in showdown at all, even if I decided to use someone like Tamatonga. I think the showdown itself was very smooth. I think, to kind of circle back entirely on what Evo was mentioning earlier on, even if you don't have the CSS, that you can grind through a lot of the points available just by having, I think it was a showboat that time, or an acro. It was one or the other. I'm pretty sure it was a showboat because that's what Brett was. It was a pretty friendly showdown in that regard. I know that I definitely, again, probably spent more than I should have, but I wanted to walk away with a couple of the skill plates that they had available, being the May Crown. I ended up getting my first May Crown, so now I can combine it into the Cowabunga Crown, as I have loved to coin it, ever since looking into the numbers, and I believe Evo is the one that showed me the combo that you can get with it, where if you have the Cowabunga plate from the Turtles event and the May Crown from either her event or this most recent event, that you essentially break, I think it's a total of 7 yellow gems, and you get 30 green gems. So a little bit of a makeshift seance plate, little bit of a makeshift, what do you want to call it, sheriff's badge plate. So another generate 30 gem combo. Very happy with that, and managed to get myself a secondary Tama plate. So one will be permanently living on Julius Creed for the foreseeable future, and I have one to mess around with even on the new LA Knight if I manage to actually get him. Wouldn't be too bad. Was discussing that purple setup with Evo as well. So very happy to walk away with that. I think I also picked up another Heartstopper, identical to the Bubba specs. For those of you that don't know, it's just the blue version instead of the purple version. So honestly, a very interesting showdown event. They also had 2 new showdown plates. One of them identical to the Naomi Feel the Glow plate. But instead of green, it is red. So after a submission, you get 200% red gem damage for 2 turns. And there is the Chelsea plate, which is, for those of you that are aware of the Titan plate, very similar to that one. Generate 8 blast gems, and you will get, instead of 200% to all gems, you will get 400% to black gems, and then you will generate 4 more blast gems. So very interesting that if you generate blast gems, that you generate even more blast gems, and a solid increase to black gem damage. Curious what your guys' thoughts on the showdown were, the plates, and what you might have gotten off of the prize wall.
Well, the showdown was actually fun for me. I had the bloodline out there in these streets, and strangely enough, I did some pulls. Cause I wanted that Chelsea Green plate that they were selling for, I think it was 175. So I went out there, I did 2 megas, and they said, you know what? You said so many bad things about our tribal chief, Solo Secor. Go ahead and take them. I said, well, thank you. I will take them. And then they said, you know what? If you come back, I'll give you Brett. I said, well, I'm coming back. And they gave me Brett. So I got Solo and Brett at the end, and I was able to max the showdown and do all my CSS and just kind of cruise through. So it was a nice little weekend.
Can I ask who you're talking to, where these voices are coming from, and do you mind
Furpo.
having them send me a message? Maybe
Furpo.
Evo a couple of messages, you know?
Furpo. Talking to Furpo.
I don't think that's accurate.
Oh well, maybe I'm getting catfish. Maybe it's not Furpo, but that's what they say. That's what their name is in the chat when I say these things.
Okay.
Yeah, I want that line too. Please let me know. Jeez. The showdown event was great. Showdown event, for the most part. The only bad thing I can say about showdown is sometimes we just get inundated with it.
Yeah.
It becomes a little bit too much at times. So if they could maybe make a new event or sparse it up a little bit and break it up a little, that'd be great. But yeah, I mean, that weekend I went in because I saw a plate that I did not have. It was a sheriff's badge. I missed last year's zombies. So I was excited for that. I went and got my first sheriff's badge, and all the other plates that were available that weekend. Zombie month, I tend to spend a little more than maybe a sane person should, and I had for 2. I got Brett before the event started, so it was showdown was very easy. It was the challenge was keeping up with energy because their matches were going really quick, really fast.
Yeah.
And a lot of people seemed to be on my wavelength that weekend and just going for it. So I got a bunch of new plates out of it. I did wind up getting both the new plates. The Chelsea plate, I think, honestly, should have been an ultimate plate. I'm not a fan of it. How niche it is in the current game. Maybe Punk comes out and changes my mind. I don't know. We'll see. And but for now, I just, it's there. If I need it, it's there. Seems more of a boss plate to me, especially the man, I can't think of what they're calling it, but the sub plate too for the red gems seems to be be a great boss addition for boss battles if we do get a red gem booster or some sort. But yeah, I mean, getting the blue Bubba specs, yeah, and all the other plates was I got the Taker plate too was on that wall. Got that for the first time, which is always good for certain cards.
Oh man, you and your Dexter Loomis.
I get Dexter Loomis is that's another. Thank you for reminding me. That has to happen this weekend. I can't believe that was a week ago, by the way, as a side note, because I've been working so much it felt like a month ago.
Yep.
So Dexter has to go up now with Jinder. So
Amen.
We're in Zombies 2024, and Evo's hit list of people to take up consists of Dexter Loomis and Jinder Mahal.
I mean, you see my roster. The zombies that I've gotten so far are maxed out already. What else am I gonna do? You got a faction event going on. Got to represent for the faction.
Oh my god.
But yeah. So showdown was great. The plates, they've been offering good stuff so far. I'm kind of surprised, and maybe this is foreshadowing a little bit that we do not have the moment yet for this month. And I'm hoping that does come eventually. But we'll see what happens moving forward.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very hopeful there's gonna be a moment. I think the reason the moment is on quote unquote delay, which again I have no insight to. I'm just hopeful that it does exist. Is because of the mysteries, right? Because there are mystery zombies that they want to release, and I'm sure that there's most likely going to be a moment, if not multiple, actually. I'll kind of combine these last 2 points into one. I think that there's a good chance that week 5, which is going to be, I believe, the Halloween week. We are currently on week 2, so 3, 4, and 5. Yep, week 5 will be the Halloween week.
Candy again, right?
There's a mention on the portal, on the calendar, on the blog, all that stuff, that there is a Halloween event, and there is no mention anywhere of any shards for anything on weekend 5 other than the standard, I think it's like 200 whatever Bailey shards at that point in time. That is it. So I'm definitely under the impression that week 5 is when we're going to see at least one of the other 2 remaining mystery zombies, if not both of them. I think that there's going to definitely be a very strong Halloween event on the horizon, and I think there's a good chance that we possibly don't get one, but maybe 2 moments when that Halloween event hits. There might just be a moment for every single character that gets released this month, and a special Halloween moment with some zombies from this month, some zombies from last month, etc. So we can kind of combine those 2 things into one. What you guys are hoping for out of the Halloween event, and what the speculations into the mystery zombies will be later this month. I know there was a bit of a leak during week 1, both in regards to Zombie LA Knight, and I believe Mr. CM Punk Best in the Underworld was mentioned on the loot coin thing, I guess, which was the Chelsea Green 5-star loot coin. To circle back to the beginning of the podcast that we were talking about, where Envy was angry with the tokens, so that he could get his Bubba Specs glasses. If you actually clicked on that token during day 1, I think day 2, it mentioned CM Punk Best in the Underworld. So a lot of people thought CM Punk might have actually been the free zombie, and I guess that Scopely probably realized CM Punk can be a really solid moneymaker, and decided to switch him out with Chelsea Green. So we are most likely going to get an S plus tier CM Punk down the line, but we have literally zero clue what the third S plus tier zombie will be. And when that's going to be released, whether it's week 5, whether it's weekend 5, whether it's Halloween event in the middle of week 5. Very curious as to what you guys are thinking, both in regards to our mystery zombies, if you think CM Punk is actually going to be in the game or not, and who the other zombie might be, and what you're thinking for Halloween this year.
But Halloween event has been great year after year. I believe last year I had the option of getting Zombie Liv or Zombie Becky off the prize wall or whatever Halloween event it was. I chose Liv and I never regretted it. But you always seem to come away something nice at these Halloween events. Something that you don't expect. But you have to make a choice. It's always down to choices. But I feel good about it. Or maybe a pumpkin will open up to something great. LA Knight might be in a pumpkin. You never know. So anything's possible with these Halloween events, but I feel like they always treat us right around Halloween. I don't know why, but they do. So I feel good about whatever's going to happen.
I do feel I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering, but I do remember maybe a candy event or something where it was a week long. You get candy and you got a prize wall you spend your candy on. It could be a different game, could be this game. Apologies if it's wrong, but yeah, that's what I think. It'll probably be some kind of event where we gain another currency. CM Punk Best in the Underworld is a lie, but will probably happen to the game. he'll come in. He is not the best. I will fight that. And then this mystery zombie, I do think there will be another one. I'm hoping it's a female. I think I would like more balance in this game, and maybe even more events on the female side, and more females released to the roster to switch things up and keep things varied. I would love maybe a Tiffy. There's a lot of Xenia talk, So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that, because we do have a boss that I believe is that week also. So seems like it's all perfectly laid out for a boss event, where typically a moment is released during some boss events, and those are a little bit harder to get. But we'll see what happens.
And what are you guys thinking for our mystery zombie? Who are we getting as number 6? Who's the 6th S+ tier?
Zombie Naomi.
Zombie Naomi. Even though we just got Striker Naomi?
Oh, they love to run these players back over and over again. We could have a million Naomi as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well, that's also because you're hoping that she does like what you said you hope Bailey does earlier in the
drip all over.
podcast.
Yeah, okay.
And Evo, any thoughts on any official guesses?
Yeah. I have to go Nia or Tiffy. I think Nia has been clamored for, almost like a running joke among Champions community. With how bad the original Nia card is, maybe we can make an absolute legend of a zombie Nia, and then or Tiffy. And Tiffy's the hot one now. She's the Money in the Bank and currently real stuff. So maybe a Tiffy. Be a Tiffy zombie.
It's gonna be an interesting zombies month, that is for sure. I am not looking forward to Nia Jax zombie myself. I'm sure as many people know. I find it interesting though that both of you are saying that it's gonna be a female zombie. Whether it's Naomi, Tiffy, or Nia. I like the idea that we're getting 3 female zombies in the month. We're going to be getting Chelsea, Bailey, and one of the ones that you guys are talking about. I don't think that we've had a split male and female month like that for, a long time. I'm leaning more towards the male character. As for who, I don't really know. I want to say someone like Bronson Reed, maybe. But I don't think he's a big enough pull for them to make, a splash, so to speak, for an S+ character. But I think it'll be someone like that.
As you're saying that, it really brought to my mind, oh my God, it would be bad, but Z Logan Paul.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Definitely a possibility for Z Logan Paul, and God, I would hate that.
Yeah, me too. But it would fit their agenda half the time. I mean, he's only got one card so far, right?
Yeah. Has he still been featured in the regular WWE product? I haven't watched frequently enough.
Not recently, since he lost the title, I believe. I could be wrong.
So not since he's lost the title. You think they'd go that far back? Be an interesting one. I mean, we already have a zombie Rock. There's gonna be a zombie CM Punk in the works, I'm sure. I mean, the only other one...
I can't see them hitting Roman Reigns again. I mean, they just hit him,
We don't have any dupe zombies, right?
No, I think so.
All the zombies are individual. There's no 2 zombie Seths or 2 zombie Romans. I think it'd be pretty bad taste for them to do a zombie Bray Wyatt. We already have a zombie Shinsuke, a zombie KO. I mean, thinking maybe zombie Waller, zombie Theory, zombie Miz, like that type of group of characters. I don't know. Well,
Zombie McAfee.
all right. Well, we don't have an original McAfee. That we need to
We
get first
we
and
didn't have original
foremost.
Sasha when she came out. We had this. You can leave the zombies.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. We did have Zombie Sasha before Boss Time, didn't we? Well, only time is going to tell. Sensei showed up, actually, just now realizing this. The month where they did 80s cards had 3 females in the month. That was the month before they switched to the new MLC format. With Final Boss Rock, I'm assuming is what you're talking about, Sensei. Yeah, I think it was a couple months before that. They had the Kabuki Warriors with the Dudleys and Austin and Jade. And then they had the Goat Ali. And then they had, what's it called? Akam Razor Final Testament with Hall of Fame DDP, Karrion Kross, all that stuff. So yeah, a couple months before the Final Boss Rock. I think this was February. Yeah, this was after January Hall of Fame month. So back in February, we're looking at what 8 months ago from now, when they had a break even of men and women. So there's a good chance. I mean that that month was specific. Was like a kind of like what this month is. It's not the typical month. They did the whole rockin' 80s theme. So this obviously has the zombies theme. There's a good chance. There really is a good chance that we managed to get 3 female zombies this month. Who knows?
I can't remember the last time we had a female boss battle too, right? I was drawing a blank on that. It's been a while, I think.
It's been a while, but I think it was pretty recent, wasn't it? Couple months back, few months back. Now I'm drawing a blank too. I think the who was the answer to that one? Io Sky? Was it? I think.
Oh yeah, with the blues, right?
Yeah. I thought there was another one since then. I don't know now. Now I'm
I
drawing a
remember.
blank. Wasn't
so
Trish a female boss battle? Maybe she was. I'm not really sure now. Boss. Let's do that. A little quick check. The Canadian icon faction boss was indeed Trish. That was back in June. Yeah, so that's what it was. The boosts on that were snowfalls, yellows, botches, and greens for female boss. That was back at the end of June. So yeah, that was only about 3 months ago, actually. So
That makes sense. I wasn't around for that one, so that's probably why I'm drawing a blank on
yeah,
how long ago that was. But yeah, June is still what, 4 months ago we're talking now?
yeah, about three and a
So it's
half, 4 months. Yeah,
We're
been a while.
overdue.
So yeah, definitely keep your eyes out for a female faction boss zombie version this month. That'd be kind of interesting, kind of fun. But I think if there was ever a time to wrap up the podcast, that it would be now. I appreciate you all coming in and hanging out. Evo, huge shout out to you. Envy, thank you as well. I know that we had a little bit of a technical issue at the very get-go. My recording wasn't recording in the beginning, and then when it was recording, it wasn't picking up audio, and then Evo's fucking connection kind of cut out, but we made it through.
Give it a shot.
I definitely appreciate the both of you for coming on in to help me out with the podcast here. The rebirth of the Roundtable is indeed officially here, and I appreciate each and every last one of you for listening on in live. For those of you that want to re-listen in, this will be uploaded to YouTube, and I'm going to find a way to get this on Spotify as well. So thank you all for coming on out. Hopefully you enjoyed this version of the Rebirth of the Roundtable, and we will be back in 2 more weeks. Flash Feud Weekend is what it should be. At that point in time, we will be able to discuss the second showdown for Zombie Bailey. Hopefully, at least one, if not two, of the other mystery zombies. We'll discuss the Flash feuds at that point in time and anything and everything else between now and then. Thank you all for tuning on in and have a wonderful Zombie LA night weekend. Are you going to pull them? Nah, you ain't.